Schoolroom 13. Part 1. The Locked Classroom. If your school has a room that doesn't appear on any map, and every student is warned never to enter it after dark, then listen carefully, because in the winter of 2019, 3 students from Blackwood High discovered a classroom called Room 13, a room that officially didn't exist, and only one of them came back. The final bell rang at 4 p.m. Most students hurried home because a heavy snowstorm was approaching. 17-year-old Ethan Carter stayed behind with his best friends, Mia Lewis and Jacob Reed. They had volunteered to organize decorations for the school's anniversary. By 6 p.m., the hallways were empty. The old building groaned as icy wind struck the windows. "Let's finish and leave," Mia said. Jacob grinned. "Unless you guys want to see the haunted room." Ethan laughed. "What haunted room?" Jacob lowered his voice. "My grandfather worked here years ago. He told me there's a classroom called Room 13 hidden somewhere in this building." Mia rolled her eyes. "That's just a ghost story." "No," Jacob said. "Apparently a teacher and 13 students disappeared there in 1987. The lights above them flickered. For a moment, nobody spoke. Then Ethan smiled. "Fine, show us." They searched the 3rd floor first. Nothing. Then the basement. Still nothing. After nearly 30 minutes, they were about to give up. That's when Ethan noticed something strange. At the end of the eastern hallway was a staircase they had never seen before. "Was that always there?" he asked. The other 2 stared. "No," Mia whispered. The staircase descended into darkness. A freezing wind drifted upward. Jacob swallowed. "Maybe this is it." They turned on their phone flashlights and slowly walked down. The stairs seemed endless. Finally, they reached a narrow corridor. At the end stood a black wooden door. Above it hung a rusted sign. Room 13. The paint looked fresh, as though someone had written it that very day. A chill spread through Ethan's body. "We should go," Mia whispered, but Jacob was already reaching for the handle. The door creaked open. Inside was an old classroom. Dust covered everything. Desks sat in perfect rows. An ancient chalkboard filled one wall, and 13 chairs surrounded the room. Exactly 13. There should have been 14, because the teacher's desks stood empty. Then they heard something. A faint scratching. Scratch, scratch, scratch. It was coming from the chalkboard. White letters slowly appeared by themselves. "Welcome back," Mia screamed. The classroom door slammed shut. Their flashlights died instantly. Darkness swallowed them. Then a voice spoke. A woman's voice, soft and cold. "Class is about to begin." Part 2. The Teacher of Room 13. The lights suddenly flickered on, but they weren't in the same classroom anymore. The room looked brand new. The desks were clean. The walls were painted. Outside the windows, the snowstorm had vanished. Instead, sunlight filled the room. A woman stood beside the chalkboard. She wore old-fashioned clothes from the 1980s. "Good morning, class," she said. Her smile seemed wrong. Ethan stared at her. "Who are you?" The woman ignored him. She picked up a piece of chalk. "My name is Mrs. Holloway." Jacob's face turned pale. "My grandfather mentioned her." Mrs. Holloway turned. "You are late." Suddenly, 13 students appeared in the desks around them. Pale children wearing old uniforms. Their faces looked gray. Their eyes were completely black. None of them moved. None of them blinked. Mia began crying. "We need to leave." She ran toward the door. It wouldn't open. Mrs. Holloway's smile widened. "No one leaves room 13. The black-eyed students slowly turned their heads toward the three friends. Every single one smiled. Scratch, scratch, scratch. The chalk moved by itself. "Stay for the lesson." A loud bell rang. The ghost students stood simultaneously. Their chairs scraped across the floor. Mrs. Holloway looked directly at Ethan. "You have taken the places of my missing students." The temperature dropped. "We've been waiting for you." Suddenly, one of the ghost children stood in front of Jacob. Its mouth opened impossibly wide. "I want your seat." Jacob screamed. The child grabbed him. Dark hands erupted from the floor. They pulled him beneath the classroom. His scream echoed for only a second. Then silence. "Jacob!" Ethan yelled, but he was gone. Only his phone remained on the floor. Mrs. Holloway smiled. Class now has 13 students again. Mia collapsed in terror. Ethan grabbed her arm. "We're getting out of here." Then he noticed something on the wall. A newspaper clipping. It read, "Teacher and 13 students missing during school fire. January 1987. Below it was a photograph. Mrs. Holloway stood with her class, but one student was missing. An empty space, as though someone had been cut out of the picture. Then new words appeared beneath the photo. "Your place is ready." The lights went out. Something breathed behind them. Part 3. The Last Student. Ethan turned slowly. Jacob was standing there, or something wearing Jacob's face. His eyes were completely black. "Stay with us," he whispered. Mia screamed. The other ghost students surrounded them. Mrs. Holloway stepped forward. The lesson never ended. Ethan grabbed the old newspaper clipping. On the back was a handwritten note. "If room 13 returns, ring the fire alarm." He remembered reading that the class disappeared during a fire. Maybe the room itself feared flames. He pulled Mia toward the wall. There was an old alarm switch. He smashed the glass. The alarm rang. Instantly, the classroom shook. The ghost students screamed. Mrs. Holloway's face twisted into something inhuman. The walls began burning. Dark smoke filled the room. "No!" she shrieked. The door burst open. Ethan and Mia ran. Behind them, dozens of hands reached through the flames. Jacob's voice echoed, "Don't leave me here." They reached the staircase and climbed. The moment they stepped into the school hallway, everything disappeared. The staircase was gone. Room 13 was gone. It was midnight. Police later searched the entire building. There was no hidden corridor, no classroom, no sign of Jacob. He was declared missing. 6 months later, the school reopened. One evening, Ethan returned to collect old books. As he walked down the hallway, he heard something. A bell, then children's voices. He turned. At the end of the corridor stood a black door. Above it was a rusted sign, Room 13. The door slowly opened. Inside, 13 students sat waiting, and in the last desk, Jacob smiled. A seat beside him was empty, waiting for one more student. The end. And please subscribe Ghost Fair YouTube channel for interesting horror stories. Goodbye.